Farcaster. How is everyone doing today? It is Tuesday. I almost said Monday. Tuesday, November 14th. And we are here to bring you 21 minutes of Farcaster news, which includes explaining whatever recent memes have occurred, is often what we're doing. So, good morning and welcome, Adrian. How have you been? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. It's been since like Friday. So
Yeah,
it's
good
crazy.
morning. Well, thank you to you, and thanks to everyone for your flexibility. I was out of pocket yesterday on Monday on our usual time.
Yep. So we
Um,
had to make a little change. Oh, by the way, I have my Farcast Her mug going today.
that's
So
incredible.
I
I,
know.
I want Farcast her
It's
swag.
coming. It's coming soon. I just have to get it out the door to you.
My life is not complete.
It's not. It's just not. So I've got a whole box ready to go to you. It just hasn't quite happened yet, but it will. Very, very soon.
But yeah,
So
usually we
yeah,
usually we talk every 2 days, and we have a lot to talk about. Now it's been since Friday. I mean,
so much.
say
So much.
four
It's
days.
been
4 days
crazy,
on
but
Farcaster is 4 years in the real world.
right? So to start off, let's just talk about our backgrounds really quick. This is Pixel Vincent on Farcaster created this word cloud, what it's like to scroll the TL in the past 7 days. A lot of wow wow. I thought this was really cute to see the little word cloud, the little wow wow word or wow wow. I'm not sure which. But speaking of, I think yeah, since we last chatted, there's still been some wow wow, but it's been petering off a little bit. You know, it's running its course. It's running its course. We got a little bit of wow wow, but it's been heading down a little bit.
Well,
Um,
surprisingly, you've got the anti-Wow Wow crowd pop
of
up.
course, unsurprisingly. Unsurprisingly to me.
As
We
people
had
do on
we
social
did have
media.
Greg. I think Greg was the start of that, and then, of course, the others popped out. So Wow Wow will have its time, and then it will probably move on. But in big news this week, to me, or since we last saw each other, I think it actually was Friday, but it was after we chatted. We had a mint from your feed, own it on chain. So minting with warps directly on Farcaster on Warpcast. So this was pretty impressive. I was super impressed with the process. It was so smooth. I love the NFT as well. I thought it was really creative combination of the Arch and Zora's Zorb. So that was pretty cool. And it cost, I think it was 280 warps, something like that. But if you had minted on Zora before, they gave you 300 warps like that day. So I had an insane amount of warps all of a sudden. And others did too. All of a sudden, we're dropping warps all over the place, and we still don't know what we're using them for. But some people ended up with like 5,000, 10,000 like warps being dropped all over the creation, all over the
The
TL.
Yeah, if you got a 4-digit warp drop,
What was
you're a
that about?
developer. You're a developer. You help
Oh, that
maintain
makes
a
sense.
hub. Yeah, so it's, to
Aha.
the true heroes, forget the CLPs. If you're shit posting, you get a few hundred.
You get a few hundred.
If you're
If you
maintaining
actually,
if you're maintaining hubs, we'll give you thousands.
we'll
So
give you 1,000. That
congratulations
makes
to
a
all the
lot of sense.
developers.
So the CLPs, we got some hundreds. We got some in the hundreds, but the ones who are actually keeping things running, they got thousands, and that makes a lot of sense. They should. So, but I was wondering, I'm like, all of a sudden I started seeing 10,000, 5,000. I'm like, what is this?
Typo? I assumed someone
Typo
was memeing. I assumed someone was
too. I thought they
creating a fake
were fake.
image just to, yeah.
I thought it was fake. I really, well, especially because I saw Cameron's first. So I assumed it was fake. I thought he was kidding. And then I realized, hey, this might be real. This might actually be real. So there we go. So we have warps dropping all over the place, new ways to use them. But I really wanted to, like, again, say, and Ted said it too, the new Mint UX is seamless, more seamless than Instagram shopping or TikTok shop, and as seamless as Apple Pay. And this isn't a crypto product, it's a consumer product. If you imagine the future of consumer and culture through this lens, The opportunities are limitless, and I haven't been this excited in a long time. So that was Ted. Um, I thought, and I felt very similarly, like that experience was so smooth. And so we've had times where we've had these like sort of minting experiences that can be contained in a central sort of platform. And that was the problem, is that it was contained in the central platform. So it was, okay, it's great, but with this, it's actually still in your wallet too. And that was the part that I was like, magic. Like
It
that's magic.
it doesn't even compare. So, and I'll combine this with a week earlier, I had watched a friend on board to Farcaster for the first time.
Mm,
She did not have a crypto wallet. She was, new, so she downloaded the app from the App Store. She paid for her storage using her iPhone,
wow.
whatever payment,
Apple
App
Pay
Store
or whatever.
payment, so I think it's $12 a year, a dollar a month paid
Yep.
once, she paid her $12 to the App Store. She's on Farcaster. And if she wanted to, she could mint, right? If she had
She could mint
warps,
if she
she'd
had
be able to
warps.
mint.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, crazy, right?
Is that right?
Well, she'd
Yeah.
need a wallet still.
Actually,
She need a wallet.
or would it go to her? But you have a I wonder if you don't have a connected wallet, does it go to your
I don't
Farcaster
know. I
wallet?
think you would still,
You
because
still
you,
have an address.
I don't, that's a great question. That's a great question. I am not sure. Um, I don't know if anybody knows in our chat, but that is a good question. Could you mint with warps even if you have not connected a wallet to your Farcaster account?
We need that.
I don't know.
If
I don't know.
otherwise,
We'll have
otherwise
to
don't
ask
talk to me
that
about
question.
consumer.
Yeah.
Don't
No, that's a great point. That is a great point because I wasn't thinking, because to me, like that was the cool benefit, was that it was also in my wallet. It wasn't sitting in this self-contained place. But yeah, how would that work if you don't have a wallet? And I don't know. And maybe it still lives somewhere else, but I'm not sure, because you still would have like automatically it creates like an OpenSea account and things like that. Some of that stuff happens automatically, but I don't know if it would in this instance. So interesting.
Okay,
I
my
don't
one
know.
more I have one more technical questions about the mint on Farcaster. Is it, you know, is it only that one single
Yeah,
NFT to start? That's a
yeah.
proof of concept prototype
It
on
was a proof of
Zora, but the
concept
idea
prototype.
is okay.
So right
But
now, there's no way for like me to go, okay, I'm going to mint this thing and allow people to mint it for warps. There's no way to do that at the moment. So that was a test run beta kind of situation, MVP, if you will. But they have to hard code it essentially. Zora would have to set it up as of right now, but usually it
in
doesn't take them long to go from MVP to here you go.
incredible. Can we
Yeah,
take a moment just to kind of
amazing.
shout out people and community? Because anytime someone drops an MVP on any other platform, it's, 0.0003 seconds and everyone's shitting all over it
Yeah,
because you
true.
say, "What's wrong with it?" And everyone on Farcaster just immediately sees the future
Yeah,
of, "Okay, this is one stepping stone on the way
yeah, absolutely. And
towards."
I think I see that over and over again with anytime somebody's launching something new or trying something different, you see that positivity in that, like, okay, let's check this out. And then also very helpful critical feedback. Like not just FUD, but actually like, hey, it would be better if it did this, or hey, did you try that? And like that to me is what makes the scenius versus just a group of people fudding on each other. You know what I mean?
Because you know what you're describing there.
I know what I'm describing. I'm describing this thing called a scenius. So anyway, all right, we got to move on, but that was to me the biggest thing that we saw over the past few days. Um, and moving on to Purple, Purple's retro funding round is now up for voting, and we're not going to you know be too into the self dealing here, but we are up there. GM Farcaster does have a application in there, but there's a lot of great, amazing projects that have put in for this. There's 22 proposals in this prop house, and we'd love your vote, but there's also a lot of great people to vote for. So And we're going to be looking through to put our votes on other people. So we'll have to be checking that out over the next couple days.
Is, in past rounds about how many props would be up?
I don't know. I think it's around this number.
Okay.
Because I haven't participated in a previous round because I wasn't a purple member and I hadn't submitted because I hadn't done anything. So this is my first time involved with the purple prop houses, but they vary. Every prop house is a little different depending on what's going on. Sometimes they have like very specific, like this one's a retro round. So
So
it is
I'll ask a
about what you've
question.
completed. Yeah, go.
Okay, so I'll ask a question, and this is for, I think someone posted recently in the Purple channel saying, "Hey, I'm a little new to DAOs, but it seems like there's a lot of lingo being used,
There is.
and it can be a little it just I forget what the word is, off-putting, or it's
Yep.
like for new people, it's like how so
It feels like they're
what's a
talking their own
what's a
secret
prop
language.
what's a prop round?
Prop. Okay, so Prop House. Prop.house is a platform that was created by Nouns to distribute grants. So, to make an easy way to do smaller level grants and funding in a way that anyone could vote on it who has whatever the particular token is. So, every prop house is token gated for voting. You can also token gate even for submissions if you wanted to. And then it's a way that you essentially are putting in a proposal and saying, this is what I did in this particular round. It's a retro round, so it's something you've already completed. And then whoever holds those tokens, in this case, it's the members of Purple, have a certain number of votes to distribute to the proposals and see which one they like the most. And that's who those top 5 for this particular round will get 1 ETH each. Um, so when we talk about props, they're 2 different kinds. So prop house, there's props and prop house, and that's just your proposal. And then there's props on chain. And on-chain props are the proposals that get submitted by a member of the DAO. In this case, it would be Purple, to be voted on by all the members of the DAO. And it's basically one proposal at a time saying, this is what I'd like to do. This is what I think we should spend some funds on. And then the rest of the DAO can be like, nah, or yeah, that looks great, whatever it is. Hopefully you've had like conversations before that point so you have an idea as to how it's going to go, but sometimes we just wing it. So
And for
hopefully
not at
that
all
answers it.
not at all confusing that there's 2 types of props. So with the on-chain ones, is it executed then? So it's like as soon
Yes.
as the voting happens, funds get moved.
Yes. So
So
with
that's
Prop House, it's not happening. It's not like executed like that. It will be soon. That's the next development, I believe. But right now, it has to be managed by who's ever running the prop house. They have to then send the funds out individually. But it does give a moment to kind of check and make sure that the winners were legitimate. There wasn't any violation of any particular rules, anything like that. So it does give that moment of like, okay, that looks good. That looks valid. We can pay that out. So yeah, I know DAOs are confusing, and nounish DAOs are even more confusing because there's just this like the longer you've been around, there's a little lingo, and it's kind of similar to Farcaster in that way, right? You have all these memes, you have all this lingo that kind of develops over time, and then it's really on us to make sure that's not doesn't create a barrier to somebody who's new, because it can for sure, and hopefully that's what we're doing a little bit here too, is to hopefully help dispel some of that and allow people to like figure out what the heck's going on without feeling stupid for asking the question. So don't never feel stupid about asking the question for sure. Everything's new.
yeah, and I think we've talked about this in the past, but how many casts start with, "Okay, I'll ask. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
bite. All right, this might be a stupid question, but,"
right.
and
And it's
and
almost
it's
never a
been
stupid
incredible.
question because it's usually
Yeah.
one that a whole bunch of people have but didn't want to ask. That's usually the case. And I always say that in class too. So it's funny that you say that because I always say that in class. The only stupid question, one you didn't ask. That's it. All right, moving on. Oh my God, it's already, what time is it?
6 minutes
I
6
know,
minutes
my
left.
goodness. Okay, so then we had, okay, it's loading. It's being cranky today. The existential problem for Farcaster is daily active users. That's what we're focused on. Everything else is nice to have right now. So I thought this was interesting because this got into a much bigger discussion about um, somebody else asked, do you share those those DAU numbers? Haven't been active myself in a while, but it seems like quite an activity on the timeline. So then shared some of those stats regarding our current active usage. And then this kind of led into a whole new meta, the the QDAO meta. So you now see some folks with Q/DAU next to their name. So where I think what I think is really interesting, and I look at this from like the entrepreneurship perspective, is that focus I think is super helpful. And although it may frustrate users who might be looking for waiting on that feature, I'm waiting on that, I'm waiting for whatever, um, having that very clear North Star definitely makes it easy to make decisions, right? And to justify decisions, to say, we're not doing that right now because it doesn't fit into this focus. And I think that's super helpful. What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. And I think the strong vision is whether it drew me here, it kept me here.
Yeah.
But I would also argue it's not easy. So when you have something
Oh,
like
yeah.
QDAO, because you can't measure it easily, because I can't,
Mm-hmm.
select star from cast table and find out how my
How
how
many
many
Q DAOs
casts
to
I'm
go?
getting, right? How many
Yeah. How's the Q
QDAOs.
DAO going?
Um, it doesn't make it easy. One thing
Midnight. I
in this
forgot.
week's
Woofy, by the way, I'm sorry. He's mid Mao. He is not Q DAO. I just wanted to clarify. I did
is
see
has
that as well. Yes,
Midmow
mid
has
Mao.
Midmow made it on the feed, or
Not,
did
no,
he? Is that just
I
on the
think
chat?
right now it's just yes. It did make it to the feed. I did see it um a
It's
couple days ago as well. So yeah, there we go. A mid Mao, and then we need a Q DAO DAO and a mid Mao DAO. There we go.
oh, new meta just dropped right here. GM Farcaster
There
Midmow
you go. Mid Mao.
rhymes with wow
Uh,
wow, so it's got
Mounds wow
mimetic
wow.
quality.
Mid
The
Mao.
woofy,
It's
you're
what's
onto
happening.
something.
Sorry, I got you off your track there, but I just had to mention the mid Mao because it's kind of hilarious.
Where was I?
Um,
Oh, I was just on
yeah,
this week's Outcasters, which is a
yeah, which was perfect timing. Perfect timing. Go ahead.
weekly newsletter that I just called a nuclear
Nuclei.
newsletter weekly.
Yeah.
Um, in the this week last year, one of the casts that was highlighted was Dan saying, "Hey, we're going to pull back on
Yes.
invites because we saw quality go down." So now we're talking, November 2022, and it was like pump the brakes. So obviously,
Yeah.
a year later, we're in permissionless, definitely going through some growing pains. But it's not a new, quality users was always a focus.
I love that. Yeah, I just scrolled to that part. PSA, we're continuing with our deliberate growth strategy. We had been growing a bit too fast in October and quality was suffering. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I saw that as well. So it kind of lined up perfectly of that continued focus on quality, right? It's not always just the numbers. And Outcasters this week, I'm off the list. Sad, but it means maybe I had more of a life. I don't know. But I'm off the list. But
I'm off the list too
you're
this
off the
week.
list too. What is wrong with us? We were out and about too much. Um, Beautiful. There's some really beautiful images. I'm just scrolling through some of them again. It looked like there were a couple that were coming from Dev Connect in Istanbul. I saw it looked like something from Shifi. Really just beautiful, like some really beautiful images that were posted over the past week that you can now see in Outcasters. Um, all right, and it's 8:50. My goodness. Okay, let me see what else we had to get to. Oh, Dev Connect. That's what I was going to mention. So many friends in Istanbul right now. I thought that was really cute. I've seen a lot of posts about everyone at Dev Connect, so I hope everyone's having fun. Who is there? And let me do one last one here. I thought this was really interesting, also from Vincent from Pixel. Cast lengths, character count distribution. Zero cast length is very high because many casts are image only. And then it had some details on the one character, two character, three character, four character. So it's mostly like um, you see like one character's an emoji, two characters GM, things like that. And then it was really interesting to see the data where the Twitter copy and paste. There's a big drop after 280 characters because of the Twitter copy paste. So I think that was funny as well. So
Love
I just
that.
thought that was, I just found, I found that data, those statistics just kind of interesting in terms of characters. And I saw something else earlier, which I don't think we got to, that about 90% of accounts have never casted. So we're in the top 10% here, people. If you're
Is
here,
that right? And I think that is what they say is it's
yeah,
10% lurkers. I
like
mean,
yeah,
sorry,
like
yeah, 90% lurkers, 10%
lurkers.
people actually don't.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I thought that was crazy, and I'm sure there's bots in there too. So you've got that as
I
well.
know,
But
yeah,
even the
we're
bots, actually, most of the bots cast. The bots are casting, so it's kind of funny.
we're Prof, I know we're 22 minutes into our 21-minute show, but shout out
Yeah,
to the chat this morning, and everyone's
yeah.
talking about the also having a lot of FOMO about not being in Istanbul for Dev Connect.
I know. A lot of
Um,
FOMO for
do we have time
Istanbul.
for do we have time for a quick announcement
Yeah, go.
to for everyone who's live hearing it
Yeah.
first?
Oh,
GM Farcast,
yes. I
this is
forgot.
what
I
you
forgot
get.
about the big announcement.
Reward for tuning in live. GM Farcaster is now available as a podcast. So you can search it, I think just Apple and Spotify right now, but if you miss tuning in live and you don't have Zora to stream, GM Farcaster 21 minutes, you can grab it as a podcast now.
So take it on the road wherever you find your podcasts. There you go. You can now subscribe. This is exciting. We're expanding, we're scaling. We're scaling our little bit of fun here. And it's it's kind of interesting. I saw so we've kind of taken the approach that Toady Hawk did with the Noun Square with Zero Pod in that, but they actually had streamed it first before going to Zora. And I was thinking about that and I was asking him about like his views and things like that. And there's a lot more that come from just the regular podcast streaming. So we're looking forward to bringing in a new audience and welcome if you haven't been here before. Okay, we need to wrap this up because we are out of time, Adrian, the time that we randomly set for ourselves. So, so GM, everyone, anything else that we missed before we call it?
Because we have jobs and lives and we love doing this, and 21 minutes is a perfect time box that lets us fit this in. So
Yep.
thank you. Just thank you to the chat. Love
Thank you
you
to the
all.
chat. You guys are fantastic today. Thanks for hanging. And we'll
And we'll be back
see you
tomorrow.
all tomorrow. Oh my God, that's right. We're back tomorrow. So I don't even have to worry too much about the stuff we didn't get to because we'll be back tomorrow. So, GM Farcaster, we'll see you tomorrow.